you've been good, really good. You skip the fancy coffee sometimes, you meal prep, you've got that automatic transfer set up to your savings account every month. You've got, let's say, $10,000 saved up. It's sitting there. It feels safe. You check it and it gives you a little hit of pride. I'm responsible, you think. But then you do the math, the real math. You want to retire one day, right? Maybe buy a home? That $10,000, even if you add a few hundred every month, at the rate things cost today and in the future, it just doesn't add up. There's a quiet panic that starts to creep in, a feeling that you're running on a treadmill, working hard, being good with money, but not actually getting anywhere meaningful. If that sounds familiar, exactly like you, stick around, because today we're talking about the single biggest financial mistake careful people make.
My name is Max from Finance with Max, and I spend way too much time thinking about a topic that is rarely explained clearly: the dangerous plateau of the perpetual saver. If you're someone tired of just scraping by, of watching your savings grow at a snail's pace, while your dreams feel like they're getting more expensive by the minute, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button if this video helps you see things differently. Look, here's the thing. From the moment we start earning money, we get one piece of advice drilled into our heads: save, save, save. And that's not bad advice at first. It's baby step one. Get an emergency fund. Stop living paycheck to paycheck. But here's the assumption we never question. What if saving money past a certain point is actually holding you back? What if your relentless focus on that 0.5% or 2% high-yield savings account is the very thing keeping you from building real, lasting wealth? I can hear the objections already. But Max, saving is safe. The stock market is gambling. And that's exactly what the financial system wants you to think, while it quietly eats your purchasing power. Let me hit you with a statistic that changes everything. The average annual inflation rate over the last 50 years is about 3.8%. Let's be conservative and call it 3%. Now, your high-yield savings account gives you, 2.5% on a good day? Do the math. Your money is losing purchasing power every single year it sits there. That safe feeling, it's an illusion. You are slowly going backward. This is what most people never realize. Absolute safety in finance is a myth. The only question is what kind of risk you're taking: the risk of volatility in the markets, or the guaranteed risk of inflation turning your hard-earned cash into monopoly money over decades.
So, when is the exact moment you stop just saving and start intelligently risking? It comes down to two numbers, just two: your emergency buffer and your freedom number. First, the emergency buffer. This isn't a vague 3 to 6 months of expenses rule you've heard a million times. Let's get concrete. I want you to calculate your survival monthly nut. Rent, utilities, basic groceries, minimum debt payments. Not your lifestyle, your survival. Got it? For our example, let's say that's $3,000. Your emergency buffer is 6 months of that survival nut. In this case, $3,000 times 6 months equals $18,000. That $18,000 goes into your SAFE account, your high-yield savings. That is your peace of mind money. It is untouchable for anything but a true hair-on-fire emergency. Once you hit that number, you have officially graduated from the accumulation phase of safety to the deployment phase. Anything you save beyond that $18,000 is now what I call opportunity capital, and this is where it gets really interesting. Let's go back to our person with $10,000 saved. They're not at their buffer yet. Their job is still to save. But fast forward. They now have their $18,000 buffer, and they can save an extra $500 a month. Option A, they put that $500 per month into the savings account. In 30 years, at 2.5%, they'll have about $260,000. Seems okay. Option B, they start deploying that $500 per month into a simple, low-cost global index fund. Now, I'm not promising wild returns. Let's use the historical inflation-adjusted average of the stock market, about 7%. $500 per month for 30 years. Savings at 2.5%, $260,000. Investing at 7%, $610,000. The difference is $350,000. For the same discipline, the same monthly contribution. That's the multi-decade cost of choosing safety over intelligent risk. That's the price of the illusion. Now, maybe you're thinking, Max, that sounds great on paper, but the market crashes. I saw my parents' 2008 TikTok videos. I could lose it all. I get it. This isn't just a math problem, it's a psychology problem. Our brains are wired to fear loss more than we desire gain. Losing $1,000 hurts more than the joy of gaining $1,000. This is called loss aversion. So we cling to what we know, the savings account balance that never goes down, but we have to reframe the loss. Think of it this way. Your money in a low-return account is like a team of super athletes you've hired, and you've got them sitting in the locker room doing crossword puzzles. Their potential is being completely wasted. The loss isn't just a market dip, it's the guaranteed loss of decades of compounded growth you're giving up. That's the opportunity cost. The moment you have your emergency buffer is the moment your psychology needs to shift from scarcity mode to abundance mode. Scarcity mode, I must protect every single dollar. Any risk is a threat. Abundance mode, I am so secure in my foundation that I can now allow portions of my capital to go to work in the world, to own pieces of great businesses, and participate in long-term economic growth. You're not risking your emergency fund. That's asleep in the fortress. You're deploying your surplus soldiers to go out and conquer new territory for you. So here is your actionable checklist. Do this in order. Calculate your survival nut. Be ruthless. What do you need to survive for 1 month? Multiply by 6. That's your emergency buffer target. Hustle to fill that buffer. Every extra dollar goes here until it's full. This is your sole financial purpose until you hit it. The very next month after your emergency buffer is complete, you open a brokerage account with Vanguard, Fidelity, etc. You set up an automatic monthly transfer for whatever you can save, $100, $500, $1,000, into a low-cost, broad market index fund like VT or VTI/VXUS. You set it and you forget it. You never touch the emergency buffer. You never stop the automatic investment. You become a boring, systematic deployer of capital. The exact moment is the first day of the first month your emergency buffer is fully funded. That is your financial independence day from the slow lane. That is when you stop being just a saver and start being an owner. This is the secret they don't teach you. Wealth isn't built by hoarding cash. It's built by owning assets that produce more assets over time. Your savings account is not an asset in the long run. It's a parking spot. The most risk you can take is to take no risk at all, because you are guaranteeing you'll lose the race against time and inflation. You've done the hard part. You've built the discipline. You're a saver. Now it's time to level up. It's time to become an investor. Take that same discipline and point it in a direction that actually builds a future you can't wait to live in. The moment is now. Figure out your number, make the plan. Your future self will look back on today as the day everything changed. If this reframed everything for you, let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more clear, no BS financial breakdowns. I'm Max, and I'll see you in the next video.